Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. So, you guys, this is Tamika's Den. I am Tamika. This is Power Season 2. Power Book 2 Ghost. Okay, Season 2, Episode 9. Whoo, y'all. Look, I'm going to tell y'all now. Sometimes I watch this episode maybe 2 or 3 times before I do a review, and then I'll, still look at it so that I can try to remember certain things as I'm doing a review. I am actually coming up here right after watching this episode, okay? Hopefully stuff is still fresh in my mind, and I have some notes that I wrote down. I can't even tell you right now whether it was good or bad. All I could tell you is a lot of stuff went down, okay? And a lot of my predictions came out right too, okay? If I may say so myself. I don't mean to toot my own horn, but toot toot beep beep, okay? Because I definitely got some stuff right, and some stuff shocked me, okay? I didn't see it coming. I don't know if y'all did, but baby, okay? We definitely got a lot of stuff going on in here. So let's just go ahead and get into it. This is just like my first reaction right after seeing the episode. And yeah. So we started out the episode with Tariq basically, we seeing Tate writing on the board saying is there any such thing as playing fair, and then we have Tariq walking in to the classroom or whatever, and he's kind of like, well, how come nobody else is not in here? But when the person turns around, it's not Tate, it's Jabari, okay? So obviously, this is Tariq having a dream. And, Jabari is saying to him, like, yeah, you would know about this. You should be able to answer this, right? Is there such a thing as playing fair? And the next thing you know, Tariq is seeing Keisha, he's seeing Kane, he's seeing, I forgot the cop that he shot name. Yeah, I put it in the comments. And he's saying, well, I killed you because of my sister. And then we even get Raina up in there, like, don't put it on me, okay? Then we get Keisha, and she's like, you got me killed, or whatever the case may be. And then we get Proctor, and he's saying, I bet you ain't even check on my daughter. So I was like, well, I'll be damned. We gonna get every ghost up in here but Ghost, okay? Tariq is seeing everybody and their mama up in here. So then is he trying to leave out and get away from all of them? Basically he bumps into Carrie, like, don't forget about me, And, then he just tries to keep going out, and he ends up seeing Lauren. And he's like, don't go in there. And then she telling him his dad is calling on the phone. Carrie was telling him his dad is calling on the phone, that he got something to say to him. And I'm like, shoot, y'all was going to bring all these other damn ghosts. You might as well have brung the real ghost, the original ghosts back too, right? And so anyway, he wakes up. And, as he's getting that call, he's also getting a call from his father in the dream. He's also actually getting a call from Davis in real life saying, what does Tate know? Because he's supposed to be the next damn witness. What does he have on you, and what could he possibly say in court? So then, of course, we transition to Tate with his brother in his office, and the brother's also telling him how Jenny wants him to come in and testify. And he's like, well, I don't understand. Why would she need me? Where do I come into play? And his brother is basically telling him, that he told him, Kamal, the brother, told Jenny that Tate would be able to help because he knows Tariq and knew his father well. And I'm like, really? Okay. So, he also said that Davis was basically saying that the jury would try to use it against him because, of course, they're talking about how, Carrie committed suicide. They have ruled it suicide, and she is dead. Okay, y'all. So those that thought she might still be living, she's a gone. Okay, so R.I.P. to Miss Carrie Hot Ass Milgram. Okay, and he's saying that Davis said the jury would try to use that against him, and Tate was basically saying, I can, hear him saying that or whatever the case may be. I believe he would say something like that. And then Tate brother also tells him, because at one point his phone rings and he's like, what's going on? You got a side piece now? And he was like, no, we got this drunk lady that keeps, saying she was a witness to Jabari's murder, but the story keeps changing. 1 minute she says it was one guy, now she changed it and saying it's two. And he was like, do you think I should say something to them? I haven't really brought it to their attention. And Tate is telling him, nah, I wouldn't say nothing, leave it alone. He was like, they hired you because they know you smart and you use your brain and all that other kind of stuff. So, if you haven't already brought it up, I don't think it's a good idea for you to bring it up now. It's probably not nothing. And, follow your first instincts and that type of stuff. And he's basically like, yeah, agreeing with him or whatever. So then we see Monet, and she's looking at the story of Carrie's death. And then she's seeing Zeke basically picture right underneath it. I guess they some kind of way got him, mixed up in the story as well. Probably from what came out in court, I would assume. And then she tries calling him, but he's still not taking her calls. And we see that she's at, I guess one of Mecca places, because it ain't the same place that Kane is at. And Mecca comes walking out, and she's telling him, that she needs to speak to Zeke. She can't take this. She needs to be with him and all this stuff. And, at this point, I guess she told him everything that happened. And he's telling her she has to be patient. She got to try to understand. This is a lot that just came out. And he was like, just give him time. And she was basically saying to him, like, you don't know him. And, of course, he gave a funny look when she said that. And I'm like, girl, of course he don't. Like, he didn't get the option to know him. And so then he actually gets a text from Zeke where I guess Zeke is telling him, that he'll meet up with him. And she was about to come with him. And he was like, no, he said he just wants to meet with me by himself. And he's like, let me go talk to him first. And I will fix it where, for him to come and talk to you too or whatever the case may be. But let me have this conversation with him first. And so then he leaves to go. And, she's basically just standing there. So then Tariq comes to class, and Tate is basically writing on the board, that the class is canceled. And Tariq is telling him, like, damn, yeah, I'm sorry to hear about Carrie. I didn't, think that. And before he could finish, Tate basically cuts him off and was like, yeah, Tariq, that's the problem. You never think. And he's like, well, what's going on with my damn, pictures that you supposed to be giving me? Like, yeah, you told me about it, but I have not seen anything concrete as of yet, and I need that info. And Tariq is basically like, asking him where he's going to stay on the stand, and he's saying that all depends on whether he comes through with his agreement or not. And to be quite, honest, Tate has been waiting on this info for a minute, and he's done several things for Tariq and have yet to get it. So I can't even be mad at him with that part. And then Tariq tells him, okay, he got it, he's gonna get it, or whatever the case may be. Okay, then we got Kane sitting here done took over chef duties, alright, and he's cleaning the damn, butcher knife in the damn kitchen. I'm like, okay, and then he's telling him, like, okay, everything is clean, everything is done, I'm gonna have to go ahead and get out of here. And, Mecca's basically like, if he's giving him a promotion to his guy number 2 and telling him he got to control everything there and watch everything there. And he's like, no, you can't leave yet. And so he was like, I think you getting shit fucked up. And Kane tries to get a little cute with him, like, you getting it fucked up. And Mecca basically chokes him up and grabs the knife and was like, did you forget? Like, did you not remember that I can make your ass go to sleep and wake back up, or I could just make you go to sleep, okay? And he's telling him to put his damn hand down on the chopping board, okay, because he will chop his damn fingers off. So he basically gives him a phone where it has to be scanned in, where he now is able to track him, see where he goes, when he goes, and how he goes, and for how long he goes, okay? And he was like, I don't know why you keep thinking it's a game. And then he was like, well, call your pops, because you got to let him know that we ain't got no supply because it was robbed, right? So then he basically calls the father, and he's telling him, like, pops, there's no supply, whatever the case may be, it got robbed. And of course the father is telling him, come home. And he's like, I can't. And he's like, Kane, stop playing with me, bring your ass home. And he's like, I can't, pops, I'm gonna have to talk to you later. And of course we see him get up and throw this glass that he had in his hand. He already done tore the whole damn room up, okay? He pissed the hell off with Monet ass. And we see him throw, this glass and basically break the mirror, which was the only thing that was pretty much left standing at this point. And then we see Diana and Drew walk in the room or whatever, and they asking him if he's okay. And he's basically like, the stash is gone, and he's saying how he have to go after guapping them. So, of course, Drew is now like, listen, Dad, I got to tell you the truth. He was like, I know what happened with the supply and everything that's going on. And he's like, starts telling him that all of this is from Monet. She was still working with, Tyreek, and that this was his only way to get back to Little Guap. He knows he had to do it, and Diane in the back talking about, I knew it, and whatever. So he's like, oh, so you basically did this because of some damn vengeance that you had. You messed up my supply, and Monet was still, down with this, and she messed up my supply and took from me or whatever, and you helped her with this. So he was like, I thought I could trust you. I thought you could be my number one to take over and all that good stuff. And Drew is basically like, I am. It wasn't like that, at the time. That just was the situation, and I had to go with it, or whatever the case may be. And so he was like, but I will do anything to make it right. And so, of course, Lorenzo's like, well, y'all go ahead out there and get my shit. Like, other than that, that's the only thing you could do to make it right. If you don't do that, then I don't want to hear nothing from y'all asses. And, he was like, you figure it out. That's not my problem. And so, and then we had Tate and Tariq meeting in the damn bathroom stall. Tate talking about, how many people I had to listen to and smell coming in here with they damn nervous guts or whatever. Come on, where is it? Where's the picture? And Tariq was asking him, like, how do I know for sure that, what you're going to say on the stand and that you're still going to back me up once you get it? And he was like, how do you know that I will, if you don't, okay? Or I won't if you don't, rather. And so, basically, he gives it to him. And we don't see the picture, but we assuming that is the real picture. And then, Tate gets on the stand and, basically he's not saying anything against, Tariq. And, the judge was like, what was the point of this? Why did you bring him up here? Whatever. He's pretty much, confirms everything that we already knew so far. And, they was about to let him step down, but then Davis actually said he had questions because Tate brung up, as Jenny was finishing off her questions to him, that his brother works with her office. And so, of course, they all looking around, and now Davis comes and starts asking him, like, oh, well, your brother works, with the office, and is there anything else that y'all discussing? He's like, oh, no, my brother's very professional. We don't get into stuff like that, and I'm very proud of him, for working this case, and he goes by the book, and, he's saying all this good stuff about his brother. But then, just as they was about to be like, okay, that's it, no further questions, you could step down, he's like, but he did mention to me that it was this witness. I said, Tate, you trifling. I know your brother's ready to kick your behind. He's like, he did mention to me that it was this witness and that she was drunk, and she was saying two different people, have been seen at the scene. So, of course, Jenny's trying to object. They end up having to go into the judge chambers to meet. Davis is trying to get it dismissed altogether. She's like, we don't know anything about this. This is not something that was an active case that any of my investigators told me about. So it's not something that we was withholding. And she's saying that they should still have the opportunity and be given extra chance to get to the bottom of it and find out what's going on. And so at this point, the judge gives her 48 hours. We then had, Mecca meet with Zeke in a bar, and he's basically saying to her, you should give Monet a chance. You should at least hear her out and hear her side of the story of what went down. He's also telling him that he can get him a tutor. Why don't he just take some time off from school, and he could basically pay somebody to train him and get him prepared for the league or whatever, that if he is, practices and he becomes that good, then all this other stuff is secondary, and he has to get ahead of it and be able to spin the story. And Drew was like, really, you could do that? And he's like, yeah, of course, why not? That's the least I could do, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? I want to help you, and I want to be in your life. And so, I guess he's considering that. Then we had Diana and Drew sitting down to discuss, him getting the key card from Everett, and her being able to get the codes, and them talking about, the lockers and how Tariq and them keep the stuff there. That's why I said he messed up with showing everybody where this damn place was. I knew that was going to come back to bite him on the behind, but, they do what they do. And so, she's basically complaining that everybody's mad at her. Everybody got an attitude with her. Is she supposed to be the bad guy now? and the one that everybody hate. And he basically was like, yeah, pretty much. And she was like, oh, you could have told me. Y'all could have told me what was going on. I would have helped y'all. And I went and told dad. And he was like, you full of crap. He was like, that's your whole MO. Everything you do is for dad, which basically it is. I mean, he ain't tell no lie with that part. And he was like, it just wasn't something that we could trust you with. Look what you already did with the situation. You can't hold water and you always in everybody damn business. And she was like, really? And then she just basically was like, so everybody supposed to be mad at me right now? He was like, yeah, pretty much. Look at that. And he was like, maybe if we do this right and we get the stuff back, then maybe he won't be as mad at you anymore. So I was like, damn. And then we had, Monet and Zeke finally talk or whatever. Mecca does get him there. And she finally is telling him the truth, that she had him at 16. She was sent down south, to have the baby. They felt like she couldn't be a mother. By the time she was trying to reach out to, Davis Dante to tell him what happened, he was already gone, basically locked up. And her sister had always wanted a boy, and they felt like, she could raise him and do a good job with him or whatever the case may be and give him the love. And after it went for that long, when it did get to the point that he was going to come up to go to school, it was like, well, I'm happy that you up here, to go to school, and I'm just going to be auntie. So a lot of us already pretty much guessed that part. And then, Dante is also telling him, I was messed up back then. I had gotten into some things, went to jail, then went into the army. I didn't know anything. And so when I seen y'all on the news, and it was like the minute that I saw you, I knew you was mine, basically, is what he was saying. And he wanted to reach out to him and try to have a relationship with him or whatever the case may be. Because Monet was like, yeah, and then this dude shows up. So Zeke was like, I just want to ask you one damn thing. Like, I just want to ask you something. And she was like, of course, anything. What? And he asked her if she had anything to do with Carrie's death. And she gonna talk about, Zeke, I would never hurt you that way. As soon as Lorenzo told me to get out, I came straight here. And Mecca was looking at her like, come again? What? But he lies anyway and tells Zeke, yes, that's right. She did come straight here. So at the same time, he still tries to like suck up to Monet, right? He's getting Zeke there for her. He's lying and saying that she came straight there when he knows it's a damn lie. So at this point, he knows that she did possibly kill Carrie, which is what most of us believe. And that she didn't come straight there, but he still goes along with it anyway, I guess to try to make her feel that he has her back. And so I just was like, yeah, okay, Monet, I don't believe you. And at this point, as many times as you done lied to Zeke, I don't know if he believe you either. I think he finally catching on that your ass is full of shit. But he basically tells them that he is going to go into, the league or whatever if he have the opportunity to. And once he's done with that, he would be done with all of them too. Then we get, Everett and Drew getting freaky, okay? Getting freaky in the room so he can get this damn key. And he gets the key from him. Of course, Everett was trying to make small talk, telling him that his arm is better, his hand look way better, that he could probably draw him whatever for a tattoo. Drew saying he don't do that no more. Then we had Jenny at Dan Braden house, y'all. This part really took me out. So Jenny is at Braden house now that she couldn't go with Tariq, or she don't really have enough evidence with Tariq. She's trying to back them up into a corner because remember, there's still the tape where Braden and Kane is recorded, where freaking Lauren had stopped by and was like, oh, and who's this? And he was saying Lorenzo or whatever the case may be, giving her his government. And Braden was basically saying, oh, I gotta go, I gotta hurry up, I gotta leave. And so now Braden hanging with Kane all those different times is coming back to bite him on the behind. They got stuff on camera with him driving off. And of course they got this recording because he's like, I don't know him. And he was just stopping by and I was trying to hurry up and get out of there. And Braden is basically trying not to snitch, but his trash ass brother, Trent or whatever the hell his damn name is, okay, I hope they chop his damn head off. I'm sorry, y'all, but that pissed me off. He just starts spilling it all, okay? He's like, oh yeah, we was with him and we know him, and yeah, it was the cop Ramirez that came, and Tariq and Kane was laughing about it because they was saying how he works for them and he's the one that took us and had us selling drugs on the corner. And of course, their father's like, what? And in the meantime, Braden is still trying to be like, I don't know what the hell this boy talking about. He bugging the hell out. Like, I don't know where he coming from with that. And of course, they're threatening him and saying that if he don't testify, they could bring him in. They could put this on him. He could get into trouble. He could do jail time. And the father's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And so he's like, well, what about if Trent testifies? And this boy talking about some, oh, yeah, I'd be happy to do it. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, and, the whole time, Braden is trying to be like, nah, this is crazy. I don't know nothing about this. And, what I'm saying? Like, and he's trying to give the brother hints, and then the brother's still just looking right in his face like, oh yeah, it was crazy, and they did this, they did that, and just telling it all. And I'm like, Lord have mercy. So of course Jenny don't give a damn, it's whoever. She just want to close this case and she want to get them. So she's like, yeah, she would take that deal. And their lawyer says whether it's Braden or Trent, whichever one comes forward, they both get immunity or whatever the case may be. Then we had Diana come in with her fake ass tears, crying to Tariq because now she trying to get this code out of his phone, and he's telling her he's on his way to see the lawyer. Oh God, can we talk? And I'm just so hurt. I really need a friend right now. Can't you have a couple of extra minutes that you could spare? And he's like, well, what's going on? Oh, I broke my family up and I caused all this stuff. And of course she tells him about Zeke and, the fact that Dante is the father, the fact that Monet is the mother. And he's like, well, that's not your fault. He's like, damn, oh, wow, that's bugged out. Because he was even saying, like, I know how that feels. My father cheated on my mother before. But he was like, that has nothing to do with you. And she was like, well, it goes deeper than that because she got pregnant with Zeke when she was 16 years old. And she goes into that whole thing. And he like, oh, wow, that's crazy. And so then she gonna ask him if he got water, and he talking about no, they don't got no more waters there, but he'll go down the hall and check. And so of course she takes that opportunity to scan his phone, which I thought was a little too damn easy, but okay, And then when he comes back in, he gives it to her, and he's basically saying, I'm sorry, but I really do have to go because I have to get to this meeting. And she's basically like, it's okay, but thank you for taking the time out and listening to me. So of course at this point, her and Drew just so happen to finish at the same time. I guess they meet up, they go upstairs, and they take every damn thing out. So now they done got everything back minus, of course, the bag that was given to Tariq. And I'm like, or took all his stuff out of the lockers or whatever, right? And so then we have Zeke coming out to make an announcement. He's basically letting them know that he's going out. He's not going to be, staying at the school right now. He's going to, take Mecca up on the offer that he had with him, having somebody train him. And we also see the agent that had gave him his card in like probably the first or second episode or whatever, that he done reached out to him and he's there with him and they're talking about that. And the next thing you know, everybody's phone is going off and the news breaks about his age. And they're asking him whether this is true or not, and, do he know anything about this, and do he have any comments on it or whatever the case may be. And, then we see Tariq, and Lauren comes over to talk to him. She's basically, still telling him the story of what happened with the drugs. She's telling him not to blame himself for what happened with Carrie. He's like, I don't. And, she's basically giving him her side of the story, how she got caught up into it. And she mentions, that's why she was saying stuff about Braden, because the way that Carrie brung it to her, she was basically going after Braden. So, of course, now this makes Tariq think. And he like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? And she mentions the whole thing with Lorenzo. And he's like, well, how did this Lorenzo look? And then he realizes that that's Kane. So he's like, oh, my God, now you really in trouble. You in danger. And she was like, well, they told me that, they protected me. And he was like, are you going to listen to them or are you going to listen to me? It's up to you. If you want me to, I will help you. you know, to get your behind out of here because you are in danger, okay? And Jenny and them ain't gonna be able to protect you from these people. And he was like, I need you to go back to your parents' house, pack your stuff up, and I'm gonna get you up out of here or whatever. So she says okay, and you know, she leaves or whatever because he told her, you gonna have to run, girl. There's no way in the world you could stay your ass around. And so I'm sorry, I'm just trying to make sure I didn't skip over nothing. So at this point, you know, Braden comes in the room and he's asking Tariq how everything went and, you know, how was court, how's the case going so far and stuff like that. And he was like, you know, it's coming along. You know, what's his name? Tate did testify. He was like, oh, he did. He was like, so how did you get him, you know, to testify? And then he's like, you gave him the damn picture, didn't you? And so of course they start arguing back and forth. He's like, you know, you don't care about nobody but yourself. Sometimes it's not all about you. You know, Tariq is saying, please think about this. Think about the effect that it was going to have on my family. And this is a life and death situation. And Braden was like, this is about my family too. He's like, yeah, life and death situation. So, of course, by them arguing, you know, Braden hasn't told him the fact that these damn Jenny and them has done come to have him testify and that they have this stuff on tape. He haven't told Braden, you know, about Lauren yet, whereas they was just starting to be honest with each other. Now they done got into an argument about the damn pic because, of course, he had told him, don't give it to, no, you know, don't give it to him or whatever. And he was telling, Tariq was telling Braden, like, your dad is not going to get in trouble for this. This is not going to fall on him. You know, he damn sure ain't going up on nothing, like going up against nothing like what I'm going up against. And your dad is going to be okay. And basically, Braden ain't trying to hear it and he leave. Then we see Mecca and Monet on the basketball court or whatever with Zeke. And they still trying to talk and plan things out. Mecca's even telling her, like, yo, me, you, all the damn kids could be up out of here, okay? We could get on that damn plane that he always damn talking about. And we could fly off and be gone. And we see some car come up and basically start shooting. And he's shooting back at them. And at this point, Monet is starting to look at him a little funny. You know, I don't think she still fully trusts him either. And she ain't no damn dummy either, even though she can act like she is sometimes. And she's seeing that something is off, and she asking him, like, does somebody follow you here? You know, was somebody after you? And he like, nah, I'm good, I'm clean. He was like, you know, could this be something that Lorenzo could be coming after you with? Or he could have said some people because he's pissed off, and then they even thinking that he could be behind leaking Zeke's age. But to be honest with you, I don't think Lorenzo have anything to do with this. I think Dante, aka Mecca, is behind all of this. I think he's trying to push Monet into a like a situation where she would feel like he's the best option. He's the one that can help her. He's the one that's gonna save her. Of course, she's always gonna, you know, self-preservation, and she gonna do what's best for her, and more than likely what's best for Zeke. And I feel like when Zeke said that he was just gonna go ahead and go off to the league or whatever, and he wasn't gonna be bothered with them, then that's when all of a sudden the age leak happened while he was trying to give his statement. And I feel like Mecca was behind that. Maybe I'm wrong, we shall see, but that's the vibe that I'm getting. And I feel like he set that up so that they could feel like they in danger, and they could feel like he protecting them and helping them. Okay, I'm starting to give you the side eye too, Mecca. So then we had Tariq and Effie talking about Yaz, and he was saying Yaz deserves better and all that different kind of stuff. And of course, Effie is still trying to, you know, kind of boost him up and tell him that certain things is not his fault and that he's only bringing this up because of what happened, you know, with Carrie, and he's letting certain things get to him. And he's like, nah, to be honest, it's not about none of that. He was like, if anything, it's more so about Lauren, because at the end of the day, Lauren is innocent. She didn't ask for none of this, and she wasn't trying to do nothing funny or whatever the case may be. She just got caught up into it. And he was like, she actually just wants to go here to go to school and get an education. And now her being involved with me has basically, you know, put her in this horrible position and put her into a whole bunch of extra stuff that she was not coming here for. And so, of course, Effie is getting mad at this. She don't like to hear about Lauren. She don't like to know that he's has still had any talks with Lauren. She's calling her a rat and all this other different kind of stuff. And I'm like, Tariq, you are stupid. I don't understand why you always have such a damn big mouth with Effie. Why you keep continuously telling her all of your business. Even from last episode and the episode before that, I have been saying I don't trust Effie. If somebody shows you who they are, believe them, okay? Fool me once, shame on. Fool me twice, shame on. So it's like, what are you doing? For you to be so smart, you are being very stupid when it comes to Effie, and it's ticking me the hell off. So nonetheless, she's basically saying she's a rat, she needs to go, all this different kind of stuff. And he's saying, nah, I need to get her out of here. I need to save her. I need to make sure she's okay. He's like, you don't know the whole story and you don't know her. And so, of course, he thinks that's going to be the end of it by him saying that to her. But no, it's not. Okay, she take her ass and meets Kane and tells Kane about Lauren and the fact that she had the wire. And then fucking, excuse my language, y'all, I'm sorry, but they curse in the show, okay? So I do curse up here sometime too when it's pertaining to this show, because it's pissing me off. But then Kane tells Brayden, okay, and tells him that he has to get her, or if not, he gonna be the one to deal with her, or he will even do something, you know what I'm saying, to Brayden as well. So this is just a whole freaking mess, y'all. And then we have Rashad meeting Steven, and Steven is like, you know, I knew you wasn't gonna let this thing go with Sweeney or whatever the case may be. He was like, wow, you just smiling like a Chester cat or whatever, cheesing like a Chester cat. He was like, you must really feel like you got something, you done brung me all the way here. And we see Rashad, you know, give him the letter, give him the picture rather. And then he looking at it like, and then Rashad like, yeah, how about that one, okay? And so, oh Lord, then we had, you know, Tariq in the car with the lawyer for the family, and he's still saying that the adoption is still gonna go through, which I'm just like, damn, the adoption moving that fast, but okay. And, you know, of course, Tariq is just sitting in the car looking at her. Then he's saying, give me a minute. And he steps out and he's looking. And the lawyer talking about some, come on, Tariq, get back in, get back in. He was like, oh, that was a big mistake. You shouldn't have been doing that. And, you know, that was a dangerous move for you to make or whatever the case may be. And I don't see how. He just was looking at her. He ain't going on talk to her nothing, which is what I thought he was going to do. And I'm wondering what happened to the phone that he gave her. Do she still have that? I don't know. But, then we had, you know, Monet and Dante talking about, you know, Lorenzo. And like I said, pretty much still talking about the fact that they can move and get away from everything if they need to, okay? And then we have Brayden and Effie talking. And of course, she's just, you know, she don't know what Brayden is talking about. He's really talking about what Kane is asking him to do with Lauren, and the fact that he's thinking about this situation with Jenny coming to the house and his brother spilling everything. But of course, he can't come right out and tell Effie that that's what he's talking about. And she busy spitting game back to him, talking about some, oh, well, you know, she busy spitting game back to him, talking about some, oh, well, you found the game didn't find you, and you gotta hang in there with it and do what you gotta do, basically. And he was like, well, everybody's always just trying to say that. Don't any of y'all have any damn morals or think about, you know, consequences and how different stuff gonna affect people? And she basically was telling him no, like, next, whatever, you know. And so I'm like, Brayden, you should have thought about all this before you jumped in it, sweetie. And so, you know, at first, what you call it, Drew and, I'm sorry, y'all, I'll be forgetting these people's names sometimes. Drew and Diana do come back with the stuff for Poppy. You know, he basically gives the bag to Drew and gives him a wink, and he just basically looks at Diana and keeps walking. Like she felt like she was looking stupid standing there, whatever. Like, he ain't even care about her. He just cared about getting the stuff back at this point. And you did see them distributing everything out for it to be sold or whatever the case may be. And so he could still go ahead and make his money. He got his stuff back. That's all he cared about. And he had Drew with him. I forgot to mention that part. And then, you know, we had Mecca go home and him telling Kane that he's going to be, you know, out of the country. And You know, Kane is still talking about, oh, I gotta go home, I gotta go home, I gotta get home. And so Mecca was actually good, to be honest with you. It felt like he knew they had the drugs and stuff. He was like, okay, so what with the drugs, right? But he wanted this ring back. And then when the number one, that's one of the most important things he wanted. So that's what pissed him off, because he was like, I would have let you go for the drugs. Basically, he ends up coming out with a gun, sticking it to Kane and saying, yo, I was going to let you get away with the drugs, but where the hell is my bag? Like, now you don't went too damn far. And of course, it only takes 2 damn seconds for Kane to start, you know, spilling the beans, but he's saying he can't get it. And he like, all right, bet, I got something better. So when he looks, of course, just like I said, one of my predictions was right. Okay, if you go back to my video, I said it before, and I also said it on Tuesday night when I was on Lamont Tyson's channel discussing power. I said there was probably a tracker, and that this man ain't gonna be playing. He always 2 steps ahead of them. He always know what's what and have all this different information on them. So he's not gonna have stuff like that around and not be able to have access to it and know where it was. And of course it comes up with Stansfield on there. And, you know, he's basically telling Kane, your ass ain't going nowhere. Now you done messed up. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the hell you thought. Okay, but you about to mess around and find out. And which Kane had already told Tariq and them, you know, pretty much that this man wasn't nothing to play with. So I don't know why he was acting like he was trying to get a heart all of a sudden now. And so nonetheless, he tells him he ain't going nowhere. He gonna stay there. He better hope and pray that he get his shit back, okay? And then you had Kane calling Monet and want to tell her that he can't leave. He telling her to tell Drew and them he loved them and he loved her and all this, you know, just in case something happened to him. He's telling him he's locked up in there. So she's like, wait, he gonna leave you locked up in his house with your phone? She was like, man, send me his address. And he telling her, no, ma, I can't, and all this. And then she's like, send me a pic. Now it's starting to dawn on your damn ass, Monet. You should have been doing detective work like Detective Diana was, okay? And you should have been asking questions. You should have been got that address from Tariq. Like I done said, this is probably my 5th time saying it, and been on top of your shit. But you wasn't. So now you, as usual, finding out the info, the last damn person, okay? And so, but now you starting to ask the right questions. So then, you know, basically they give Tariq the heads up that Dante knows what's going on. So Tariq goes and look in the bag. And I'm telling you, if all these people ain't stupid as I don't know what, of course it takes Tariq to find it. Because you going to tell me, y'all took this bag, none of y'all looked in there. Soon as Tariq looks in there, there's freaking passports for all of them. The whole family, okay, excluding Lorenzo, of course. There is a folder with informant information with the district attorney. There's like a burner cell phone. All of this is in the bag where any of them could have looked in it at any time and saw what was in this damn bag, and none of them ever did. Okay? And people that was wondering, you know, why he killed Chef, more than likely that probably was why, because remember he was like, I told you to stay out of there, you ain't got no reason to be in there. And it also was probably just basically because he should have also been able to pick up on Kane and his bull crap, and he didn't. Okay? But anyway, Tariq then calls, you know, Braden, thinking he could trust him, and tells him to get Lauren out of town and tells him where her address is. Meanwhile, Braden already sitting outside her damn house waiting, okay? And he's like, okay, I got you. Because now that Tariq have to deal with this situation with Dante, you know, he's thinking he could trust Braden to go ahead and take her away. So he calls up Davis, and Davis is like, yo, how the hell do you even know Dante Spears' name? He was like, do not mess with him. Stay as far away from you, you know, far away from him as you can. This man is connected to so many big things. He's one of the greatest informers and cannot be touched, okay? They done sent him overseas. He done told on damn, you know, arms dealers, gangsters, military people, crime bosses, you name it. Anybody is expendable. And he has got paid lovely for doing it. So he's like, this is not somebody you want to mess with. This ain't your little small time, you know, drug dealer, your little friends you've been playing around with, basically. So, stay the heck away from him. And so then when Tariq comes back in the room, of course, Mecca is there. And he's like thinking he's stunting on, Tariq, and got him by surprise. Like, yeah, I know about Ghost. I know about Tommy. And I know about you and your whole life. And I know what you did to him, okay? I pretty much know your whole, life, like I said. And so Tariq comes back at him like, oh, I guess you would know because you are basically one of what he said, I want to say it right. He said you are the GOAT of global snitching. Ain't that right? That's what you do, right? You get paid to go around and talk to the Fed and tell them everything that's going on, and that's how you make your bread. So he was like, it looked like we both know something about each other. So like I said, at least Tariq was that smart to be able to look and see the information, the fact that nobody else did, and the fact that Monet have not caught on to nothing, pertaining to this man all this time is funny as hell to me. But nonetheless, Tariq was like, well, now I want, $2 million. And, then we pretty much could be even and we can have a deal. And so, of course, Mecca's like, well, I got to get something for that too. This ain't no just giving you and not getting what the hell I need shit. And he was basically telling him, that he has sold out Lobos to the feds and that Ghost did him a favor by killing him. So he was like, do me a favor when you go to hell, tell Ghost I said good looking out. I said, well, god damn, did y'all see that coming? Because I didn't. I did not see that coming. I did not see Mecca as a damn rat, baby, but it's kind of making sense to me now, all right? And then Braden basically, of course, had went driving off with Lauren, and he's pulling over on some dark side of the damn road, talking about he had to pull over. And of course, Lauren is like, here, why would you have to pull over here? What's going on or whatever? Then he takes out a gun like he about to shoot him. Like, oh God, please, Braden, don't do that. And then he puts the gun down and he gives some money, and he's like, listen, get as far away as you can with that in the meantime, and it's not going to be enough. You're going to need to get more. She telling him thank you. Here come Effie raggedy funky ass. Like, I'm sorry, I don't like Effie no more. I already didn't trust her. I can't wait for freaking Tariq to get a hold of your ass, girl. You gonna get what's coming to you, because Lauren didn't deserve this. She could be a pain in the behind. She could be annoying as hell sometime, how she used to question damn Tariq and just not understand a lot of stuff a lot of the times. But that's what makes it even more messed up if you killed her, because this girl was innocent and all she wanted to do was try to get away. All she was trying to do was get her a good damn education. And I really hope they drag your behind up or down and around the damn street, girl. I'm sick of your ass with this. It really pissed me off. But anyway, we see Effie jumping out the car just as he was about to let her go. And she come up and she telling her to get in the car. And of course, Lauren is like, no, please, I'ma just leave. I don't want no troubles. I'ma just leave. And she basically hits her and knocks her out. Effie girl. Woo! Then you have, Mecca walking in the house. And when he walks in the house, Kane and Monet are standing there waiting, baby. He ain't see her at first. He coming talking about, what the fuck you doing, to Kane. And then when he see Monet, he like, what's this? And then he tried to flip it and play it off like, oh, so you was in this. You was a part of the setup from the beginning. She was like, oh, no, I wasn't. She was like, I didn't realize who you was. She said, what the hell is going on here, Dante? You was playing games. You set all this stuff up, and you was doing this on purpose to make us feel like, we had to have you, we needed you, or whatever the case may be, and like you was helping, you was playing both sides and all that. And of course, Kane asked and still lost. He's like Zeke number 2. He was like, wait a minute, that's Mecca? So he's now realized, that's Dante, so he's now realizing Mecca's Dante, okay? And she's realizing Dante is Mecca, and she like, oh, by the way, I like the name Mecca, that was a good one, and he's like, so what's going on now, whatever the case may be. And she was like, basically, you gonna kill Lorenzo. You gonna kill Lorenzo, and we gonna go away on that plane that you always talking about, and we gonna take all the kids and all this and that. And so he basically was like, you okay with that, Kane? And Kane gonna talk about, yeah, you already know how I feel about Lorenzo and what he be doing to me. He ain't even calling him Pops no more. But I don't believe that for 1 minute. I believe they gonna get what they need to get. I don't know. I guess I'm kind of 50-50. Like, at the end of the day, I feel like Monet will go after her best interest, and I feel like King will go with Monet. You know, but I think that they are now using Dante, and that she already didn't trust him like that, and now he gave her even more reason not to trust her, for her to know everything that he did, because it's kind of hard for me to think that King would really have something to do with killing his father, but then I don't know, because the father have been pissing him off, so that's why I said I'm kind of 50-50 there. Like, it could be not. It could go either way. But at the end of the day, I think they would just go out for what's best for them. So if it's a situation that's with Lorenzo that's better, it could lean that way. And if it's a situation with Mecca that's better, it could lean that way. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting right now. But I don't know. Y'all put it in the comments. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. You know, Effie had the nerve to come climbing her ass back in after the fact and take off her clothes and get in the bed with Tyreek. I'm disgusted and so pissed with this chick right now, y'all. For real, for real. But put it in the comments. Did you see that coming? Do you think that Effie killed Lauren? I'm pretty sure she more than likely did. Do you think Brayden or his brother's gonna be the one to testify? Which one is it gonna be? And is he gonna end up getting killed because of that? You know, put it all in the comments, y'all. Let me know what you thought about this episode and what you're expecting for the season finale. And do you think somebody else is going to die? And if it is, then who's it going to be, y'all? Okay, put it all in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later. Toodaloo.